experience, so we're eligible for research. Now, there's also something called prestige, and that's how we impress other Kerbals. And when that happens, we'll have a better Kerbals to choose from our employment pool. If we're choosing to hire astronauts, that's a little ways out. But so, with the money we have, we are going to do upgrades so we can preform EVAs in flight. This means basically in space we can get out. Spacewalk. Alright, so that's kind of important. I don't have any money to do anything else. I do have to go get a new mission. I can have 2 at a time. So I'm going to escape the atmosphere, and I'm going to orbit Kerbin. Okay, and we're going to come here. We have 33 science points. Build that there. Take that there. And that is because that has the barometric pressure. And in the first one, I bought a thermometer. So that's going to allow me more science. And then I'm going to get my basic rocketry. And that won't allow me to get anything else. Now I'm limited to 30 parts. And I don't know if I can achieve orbit. What we're going to do is redesign this a little bit. We can keep this because they haven't given us anything new. And I'm going to reduce that to 2. Alright, and then of course our new science is our thermometer. And I can stick that right on the door if I want. And my barometric pressure. Oops, I got 2 up. I'm not going to stick it on the door. Let's put it on 1. I don't want 2. I'm limited on parts right now, so you can use the same thermometer twice. You just get out and take the reading, and then you take the reading again. Alright, now if you take shift and hit your Q button, I was already in the right spot. You can move that around in small subsections. And the same if you have like your D button. Oops. And it'll flip them all around, and then you can do stuff like that. And then you can take that. Alright, it's way too much. So. Alright, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to put this decoupler on the bottom. Well, I need an engine first. Let's use the 45. Wait, I had a 15. What's it? 15, 88, and 100. Huh. And then we're going to put a decoupler on the bottom. And I'm going to put a stage there. Alright, I'm to 14 parts. I know I need some stability or it's going to want to roll. So I find the center and I put that part. And I'm going to have 3, I think. As close to that as possible. So that I put a high on this one. And then just going through my parts to make sure I'm not forgetting something quick, amazing, like a heat shield. And this, we really don't need this now. We will need this for high-speed re-entry. And then I need that decoupler. So that's basically it. We're at 19 parts. Let's go ahead and give ourselves an antenna. Just one. Now I'm going to hit the S key, watch it drops down, or flips up. I'll do it 2 more times. And then I'm going to hold the shift and hit S 2 times. And let me show you what that did. This created an antenna that I can extend and it won't go clunkily through the other parts. Clunkily. I just made that word up. Isn't that great? You can make words up. They actually will make sense to people if you know word roots and things of that nature. So here I'm going to put what we call a drag chute on, and I'm going to set it a little less than my Kerbal chute and to go off a little higher. Anyway, so that's called my drag chute. And if I put it here, let's get 2 since we have more. We're going to do a thing where we push that like that, and then I'll show you. See how they now they want to have 2, but they want to be concentric rather than, or not concentric. I don't know what this word is, but anyway, let's try this rocket. We're just going to go Z2. Do my staging real quick. Save. Let's go see if we can launch leave the Kerbal atmosphere. So that's our goal here, is to leave atmosphere. I can get my atmospheric pressure scan and my temperature scan. Remember, those were things we didn't have those tools before, so just before I take off I'll EVA and take data. And this opens up the instrumentation for a new one. Alright, the video's getting too long. Now I'm not going to do a crew report because I have a chance to, I come here all the time. I'll have a chance to do this crew report later. I want to use my crew report somewhere else. So anyway, let's push this button. This is going to give us some basic information in the early stages of the game. We don't actually have our systems up enough to get all the information. See how it's locked? But we can get our apoapsis and our periapsis readings there. And these are measurement readings on our furthest and our closest point of orbit or parabola. Parabola is a math term. It's kind of like this. It starts at the bottom, it goes, and then it comes back down just like a mirror, like itself. So it just goes, and then comes, that's a parabola. Up and down. Up here, down here, and right in the center here. The top in a parabola would be our apoapsis, and the periapsis is imaginary in the negative plane. That doesn't mean anything to you, maybe. But once it becomes unimaginary and a circle, then we can go for what we call concentric circle, or a concentric orbit. But anyway, let's just launch this craft with flight control. Looks like Jebediah's with us again, and we're just going to see what it does. So you can see I'm flying pretty straight and true without twisting or falling. This is really nice when it flies straight up and you're not having to do any corrections, and it's essentially flying itself. Now I could choose to do temperature and pressure scan here, but I can also do that later when we're parachuting back down in the same air. Okay, my engine just quit firing, so I do that, and then I'm going to check and make sure I'm not giving it too much gas. I'm going to watch that number. This number, I'm at 1,000 meters per second going up. I have an apoapsis of 24,000 feet. I'm at meters, and we're at 12,000 meters actually. So let's go look at the parabola real quick. See, that's a parabola. All right, that's going up fast. So I need to slow my gas way down. And I'm going to slow that gas down like that, because I don't want to go much past 72. It looks like I just hit 70, so once I hit 70, I'm going to turn like this. I'm going to start going that direction. Now, I probably could have done that at 65, but I was a little behind. Everything's happening so fast, and I just didn't have time to do stuff. Now, I am not in space, but I am going into space. So one thing I can do is a crew report, and then I'm going to transmit that. Right now I'm going to suck almost all my batteries doing that. See my batteries going down? That is my last transmission, but the fact that I'm running my no, it's not. I'm running my engine, so it's recharged. So I'm going to get temperature and atmospheric pressure scan. We're going to keep both of those, and we're going to get one mystery goo observation. Alright, that's upper atmosphere. At 70, we're going to be in space. So I'm going to stop right here, stop the engines. I'm going to go get an EVA report before 70. And then I'm going to board back in, put back on my control, and I'm going to give it gas again. About where I had it before. Now we're in space, so we can do it all over again. Crew report. Mystery goo. Alright, I can't do my temperature and atmosphere, and I'll show you why as soon as I run out of gas. Alright, I'm out of gas, so what I want to do is my EVA report. my EVA, and I'm going to get my report. Yes, and I'm going to grab that. Take data. Take data. Go ahead and take this while I'm here. I'm going to board. And I'm going to come right back out. Almost instantly. Oh wait, board. Okay, once I board, I can do my temperature scan, my pressure scan. Good, I got it above 70. Now I'm going to go back out. And what I'm doing is I'm taking all my data and information and scientific experiments, and I brought them inside the capsule. Now they're safe in here with me. Alright, as we can see, we're plummeting back to the planet. So at this point, I'm going to eject my gas tank. And I've already had my parachute set up for automatic. And they'll open on their own. Now, when NASA created this re-entry capsule, we chose a teardrop design. That's what you call this. And that's basically because it can fly itself on re-entry. If you notice, it's coming back. I'm not doing anything. I don't even have pilot stability on. And it's just falling into atmosphere. And it's thin air. If it's thicker air, it'd be doing this quicker. But this is thin air. If you notice, we have 3 levels of atmosphere, and this is thickness of air. So airplanes fly a little different, and rockets and spaceships too, in each area. And then eventually we get to the highest atmosphere. And when we leave that, we're in what we call the vacuum of space. So we can see that this teardrop design is flying itself. The chutes will deploy themselves, and there's nothing really for us to do but just watch. You can see that this is flying itself. It's settled into its mode. We get into thick air, it almost stabilizes. You can see that it's allowing us to do in flight over water. So we'll take this opportunity and we'll just do both of those. I may be able to review and release my crew report later and get these things, all but mystery goo for flying over water, crew report and an EVA report. It's going to depend. Yes, I have full electrical charge. I'll be able to do this. So there's my drag chutes, and I put them towards the back. They might flip me over. Nope, that one came out first. I put them towards the back so I could kind of face a little more at a different angle. Right now, what I'm rating for him to do is open. So I've got this crew report open for review. I'm not going to have much time. So I'm going to try to transmit this at this speed now. I think I can do it. Alright, it wouldn't let me. So review report. Review report. Alright, there we go. The antenna came out and we're transmitting. What that allows me to do is get a crew report while I'm flying over the water. Okay, now that our chute's open, we're moving real slow. We can just come out here and do an EVA report. That's why we upgraded the Kerbal complex, the astronaut break room, I guess we'd call it. The astronaut complex. That's the official name, I think. I just call it the break room. Because that's where I find all my Kerbals when they're at Kerbal Space Center, and I can look at them and check things out about their levels of courage and stupidity. So now we're floating down. We have no science to do. We have nothing to do but go along for the ride. If you're impatient or your mom's yelling at you and you need to hurry up, you can push the greater than and less than buttons. And what it does is it'll just speed time up just a little bit for you. Now, this time acceleration, not when you're coming down under a parachute, because it's really limiting us. See how it's red? It's not even doing it. When we travel for days, weeks, even a year into space, we can use accelerated time. I always deaccelerate before impact. For some reason, I don't like to hit the ground at time. I think something might happen where the physics engine isn't in fully control, and it'll either break something that's supposed to break, or it won't break something that it should. So I'm trying to maintain some type of realism or not do harm to myself. So I slowed down to real time just before I hit the ground. Now we got more science to do, but I'm just going to blow that off because I'd have to go through a lot of stuff. And this is not the last time we'll be in the water. I promise. Water landings are probably the best in terms of not having to worry about hitting too hard, blowing stuff up. Anyway, so we got 147 science points for that, and we get a little bit of money back for our parts, and we also got paid for completing the mission. We still have one left to do. It's take our ship into orbit, but now we have money, and what we need to do next is probably upgrade this to get over our 30 part limit, or I mean our weight limit. If we want over 30 parts, we're going to have to upgrade this. That is the future. We don't have enough money. So right now we're limited to 30 parts. We do have 174. That's a 150 upgrade. So if I choose to do this now, and there would be a good reason to do that, I still have 24,000, and I have upgraded 1, 2, 3 facilities. There's my promise. Right there. 2 missions, 3 facilities. Okay? You have 147 to spend, so you can just spend that. Always go on the ends first. Like I'll do this end and this end first, and then I work towards the middle. Seems like this is science and this is power, and that's what I'm all about. Now if you're flying aircraft or aviation or space planes, stay in the middle and do the middle pipe. Or you can just unfold the tree, just unfold it right across. What I've showed you is 2 missions, and look, I'm just a little bit experience away, and as soon as I'm done going into orbit and collect EVAs from all the various biomes, I will have enough to upgrade 1 or 2 of these, and if I do other science and land in the right spot, then I'll be able to do 3. But anyway, this has got to be the end of this video because it's about long enough. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day. and keep playing Kerbal. Always. Learn accidentally. Incidentally, you'll learn. You don't even have to try. You can't help yourself. And if you get stuck, then maybe there's something you need to learn to get unstuck in the real world, or you just need to come watch a Kerbal video. And I've got 5,000 hours, so I think I know what I'm talking about just a little bit. There's guys that know more, but I learned all this myself. I studied space history because it became interesting to me, and now when I watch a SpaceX launch, I understand everything with a contextual perspective almost exactly, and better than the people that are hired to explain it to the viewers. Sometimes I hear them say stupid stuff, sometimes I hear them fumbling around. Well, I fumble around. I'm sure they know what they're talking about. But they don't have 5,000 hours on Kerbal, it's obvious. Anyway, ramble. Thank you very much. As always, keep watching.